Hi, I'm Terrinique, founder of the best-selling naturally curly hair care brand Curly Belt and host of the Terrinique Show, a show where we talk about hair, a woman's crowning glory. I'm so happy that you've allowed us to be a part of your hair care journey, and I hope that you enjoy the show. Welcome to another episode of the Terrinique Show. I'm so happy that you guys have decided to join us for yet another episode. On this episode, I'm going to talk about 5 hair care tips for dealing with postpartum hair loss. I have been seeing so many questions coming in about help. My hair is shedding because of postpartum hair loss, and I just need to know what to do. So I'm here to share how you can cope with postpartum hair loss and what you can do to limit it, right? So let's dive into what is postpartum hair loss and why do women experience hair loss after giving birth to their child. And it's mainly to do with hormones. I remember when I was pregnant, I took the prenatal vitamins, and my hair was super flourishing and super long and healthy. I was so happy with the way my hair was looking, because if anyone knows, when you are pregnant, you have to take your pregnancy vitamins, or prenatal vitamins is what they call them, and they're filled with nutrients. Another thing is, when you're pregnant, you have to pay attention to your diet, and you have to drink lots of water. There are other times when, if you're not pregnant, you may neglect your diet and you may not keep yourself hydrated. But I particularly noticed that I would have to drink about 4 liters of water a day. That's what my doctor recommended for my weight and my height. So I was just chugging it down. So I was fully hydrated, and all of that helps with, your hair growing. And I also was eating very healthy, like a lot of leafy greens, a lot of protein, and a very balanced diet, and taking my prenatal vitamins. So that also contributed to my hair and my skin looking radiant. So ladies, I know when you have a child, your life changes. It's really not the same. No one tells you that you're not gonna ever sleep again after you have a child. But what comes with having a child, and especially if it's your first child, like a newborn, what comes with that is a lot of different changes in your sleep pattern. You have to adjust to this new life. So then what happens is you start to neglect yourself. And when you were pregnant, you probably, you had the time to take your vitamins, drink your water, and eat healthy. And now that you've had the child, you're probably not keeping up with taking care of yourself properly, because you're sleep deprived, you're tired all the time, and you just want to eat what's convenient. So a way to help with postpartum hair loss, and I think with depression, I'm not a doctor, but the way to help with that is to continue your routine of taking proper care of yourself, still drinking lots of water, still eating lots of leafy greens, and eating a balanced diet. And that will also limit the hair loss when you are experiencing, the postpartum symptoms. Okay, so let's talk about, why do women experience postpartum hair loss? Women experience postpartum hair loss due to a sudden drop of hormone levels, specifically estrogen, after childbirth. During pregnancy, higher estrogen levels prolong the hair growth phase, reducing shedding. So we know that there are 3 phases when it comes to the hair growth phase. You have the resting phase, you have the phase where the hair is growing, and then you have I believe it's the anagen phase. So higher estrogen levels prolong the hair growth phase, reducing shedding when you are pregnant. After giving birth, estrogen levels decrease, causing hair to move into the shedding phase all at once. So that kind of gives you a mental look of why you're experiencing postpartum shedding. It's because during, you know, those 9 months, your hair was in the hair growth phase. And when your levels drop, your hormone levels drop, then the hair goes into the shedding phase, and all that hair that should have shedded, you know, then starts to shed. We know that a normal hair growth phase, shedding, you shed about 100 hairs, right, at a time. So when your estrogen levels begin to drop, then all of that hair that you were supposed to shed during those 9 months start to, you know, come out. And that causes a little bit of depression too, because as women, you know, we love our hair, we want our hair to look healthy, and, you know, when our hair doesn't look good, we don't feel good, right? This results in noticeable hair loss, which typically peaks around 3 to 6 months postpartum. So 3 to 6 months, when your baby's about 3 to 6 months, then you start to notice it. While this hair loss is temporary, it can be managed with gentle hair care and a healthy diet. See, I told you guys, I be knowing, okay? How long can postpartum hair loss last? For me, it lasted, I think it stopped around 1, when, you know, my child turned 1. But let's go to, you know, AI. Postpartum hair loss typically lasts for about 3 to 6 months. Well, that makes sense because, you know, it usually happens after your child is about 3 to 6 months. So if your child is 3 to 6 months, then if it starts at 3 to 6 months, if postpartum lasts for 6 months, then your child will be about 1 when it stops, right? So that makes sense. So it's very critical between that 3 to 6 months after you've had your child for you to then, you know, take care of drink lots of water, eat lots of leafy greens, and I would say even continue taking your prenatal vitamins, because if you're breastfeeding, the child will also benefit from that. So continue to take your prenatal vitamins. I'm not a doctor. This is what I suggest because prenatal vitamins aren't harmful. Continue to take your prenatal vitamins, drink your water, and eat a balanced diet. Critical between the first 3 to 6 months after giving birth, right? Postpartum hair loss typically lasts for about 3 to 6 months, with shedding often peaking around the 3rd or 4th month after birth. However, it can take up to a year. I told y'all, up to a year for me. However, it can take up to a year for hair to return to its pre-pregnancy fullness. So what I noticed during my postpartum hair loss is my edges. So my edges were really, really bad. And you know what I used? And I'm gonna, if you go on the Curly Bell page, you'll see month 1, month 2, and month 3 of my hair growth. I use our Curly Tropical Oils blend on my edges to help my edges grow back when I was experiencing that postpartum hair loss. And it was about, it took about 3 months and my edges were fully back. So even though the shedding was like for a year, my edges were growing back because I was using a nourishing oil. All right. However, it can take up to a year for your hair to return to its pre-pregnancy fullness. The duration varies from person to person, depending on factors like hormone levels, hair care routines, which we're gonna talk about, overall health. While the process can be alarming, it is usually temporary and hair growth resumes once hormone levels stabilize. So there are things we can do. So here are my top 5, I think I'm gonna do 6, my top 6 hair care tips for postpartum hair loss. Number 1 is be gentle. What being gentle means is you want to use products made from natural and organic ingredients. I would recommend definitely, if you have straight hair or if you have curly hair, using a sulfate-free shampoo, because sulfate-free shampoos, they cleanse the hair but don't strip the hair, like our almond and shea butter moisturizing shampoo. So it's a moisturizing shampoo and a cleanser, and it is sulfate free, made from almond, shea butter, and apple cider vinegar. So this will cleanse the hair and it won't strip the hair. because during postpartum hair shedding, you want to make sure that your hair strands are nourished, and you don't want them to become dry, brittle, because then that causes breakage. And you don't want to have breakage on top of the shedding because of your hormone levels. So get you a sulfate-free shampoo. Number 2, you want to deep condition your hair. During this time, you cannot skip your deep conditioning treatments. What deep conditioning treatments do is they strengthen the hair and they make the hair moisturized so they're not dry and parched. Grab our banana nut and avocado deep treatment that nourishes the hair. It strengthens it and it moisturizes and adds shine. So you want to be doing a deep conditioning treatment at least once a week if you're going to be wearing your hair out and you are experiencing postpartum shedding. I know who has time to take care of their hair when they have a newborn, but this is simple, ladies. You just shampoo your hair in the shower, get out of the shower, put your deep conditioning mask on and leave it on. You can leave it on all day, and then at night when your baby goes to sleep or when your baby's taking a nap, just rinse it out, right? So you want to be doing this once a week or once every week and a half, right? If you're experiencing postpartum hair loss. And you can get ahead of this. If you know you're gonna have a baby, start doing it month 1. Just get into the routine of doing it, because you don't want to be, you're already dealing with a lot when you have a newborn, and you don't need your hair to be one more thing that is making you not feel good about yourself. Because I know a lot of women are hard on themselves when they have a baby because of all the weight gain, and then you'll have like acne. I know I usually don't have acne, but when after I had my baby, when the hormones started to my levels started to drop, I did experience acne for a period. So you're already gonna have like acne, you're gonna have weight gain. This is something you can do so that your hair still looks good. Number 3, scalp stimulation. You want to use a product like our Blue Renew Nourishing Scalp Serum that will stimulate the scalp to promote scalp circulation and hair growth, right? It's as simple as just putting some drops on the scalp and massaging the scalp to get the blood flowing, especially in those areas like your edges or wherever you're seeing that you have a lot of hair loss. Number 4, limit heat styling. This is not the time. I repeat, this is not the time. Repeat after me. This is not the time to get a blowout. If you have straight hair and you're used to getting blowouts, do not get a blowout between the first 6 months of giving birth if you are experiencing postpartum hair loss. Blowouts are some of the most damaging hairstyling. That's the most damaging hairstyle to any hair type. Straight, curly, kinky. Do not get a blowout, okay? Limit heat styling. Put the flat iron down. Wear your hair in more of a natural state. Or, just don't do heat, right? When you are experiencing postpartum shedding. Because what it's gonna do, and have you seen what they do when they blow your hair out? They take a brush and then they have the blow dryer and they're yanking your hair. So as they're yanking, they're pulling out, and more strands are pulling out than normal because your hair is shedding. Blowouts, a no-no. Stay away from blowouts, okay? No heat styling. Number 5, maintain a balanced diet. You want to be drinking lots of water. You want to be taking your prenatal vitamins still, or whatever vitamins your doctor recommends. And you want to have a balanced diet that's leafy greens, protein. You want to make sure that you're getting everything. Hair needs protein, so you want to be eating protein. You need those leafy greens, you need the nutrients and all the minerals. So have a balanced diet. And number 6, if you are experiencing postpartum shedding, I recommend getting a protective style. One where you don't have to keep manipulating your hair. And that helps with your mental too. If you don't have to keep manipulating your hair and you keep seeing all these clumps and clumps of hair coming out, mentally you're gonna be okay, right? You're not gonna be freaking out. But if you have to keep doing your hair, then you're like, okay, why is all this hair coming out? So that's adding stress on top of the stress that you already have. So get a protective style. Do a braided updo, do cornrows. You can even do box braids. Box braids take a little bit longer, and if you have a newborn, you don't want to be sitting down for 6 to 8 hours getting box braids. So I would recommend getting cornrows, like a braided style, or twisting your hair, doing a 2-strand twist of your natural hair, and then taking that and putting it in a ponytail, and redoing the twist maybe every 2 to 3 weeks. But keep your hair in a protective style. And you know why it's good too? Because then you have more time to take care of your baby and do other things. If your hair is in a protective style, you don't have to spend so much time doing your hair. So it's a genius idea to get a protective style between, that 6 to 12 month mark after you've had a baby. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I'll go over it again just so it's simple. 5 hair care tips for postpartum hair loss, or how to deal with it. Number 1, be gentle, use a sulfate-free shampoo. Number 2, deep condition your hair. You don't want to be skipping your deep conditioning treatments. Number 3, scalp circulation, massage the scalp, use a nice serum like our Blue Renew Nourishing Serum to get the blood flowing in your hair, because that causes hair growth. Number 4, limit heat styling. Blow drying, no, it's a no, right? Number 5, maintain a balanced diet. And number 6, do a protective style like cornrows when you are experiencing postpartum hair loss. I hope that this is helpful to you. Have a great day.